Breaking news. Wang publicly pleads for Shen Yu's forgiveness after breaking her heart. A heartbreaking yet deeply emotional journey into a real-life moment that shook fans across the globe. The world of C-dramas has never been short of love stories, both scripted and speculated. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared fans for the emotional whirlwind that unfolded when Chinese actor and international heartthrob Wang publicly pleaded for Shen Yu's forgiveness, years after their rumored romance crumbled behind closed doors. It was an apology that took not just one woman by surprise, but an entire generation of fans who grew up watching the pair's on-screen chemistry bloom in Meteor Garden. On that unforgettable day in July 2025, Dylan stood on stage not as a celebrity, not as a rising global icon, but as a broken man. And all he wanted was to be forgiven by the only woman he ever publicly hinted at loving, Shen Yu. Dylan and Shen Yu's journey began in 2018. At the time, they were both relatively fresh faces in the industry, paired as leads in the hit Netflix remake of Meteor Garden. Dylan portrayed the brooding Dao Ming Sai, while Shen Yu brought warmth and feisty charm to Dong Shansai. Their chemistry was instant. From press interviews to behind-the-scenes clips, it was impossible to ignore the way Dylan would glance at her when she laughed or how Shen Yu always relaxed around him. For fans, the on-screen love story bled beautifully into real life. Rumors swirled that the two were dating quietly. While both actors neither confirmed nor denied the speculations, their frequent private interactions, unofficial photos, synchronized social media posts, and secret getaways kept the flames of fan theories burning for years. But somewhere between 2020 and 2023, the energy between them shifted. Fans noted that they no longer appeared together. Their social media interactions became cold and eventually non-existent. In 2024, when Shen Yu was cast in a romance drama opposite another rising actor, Dylan didn't congratulate her publicly. Shen Yu, in turn, declined to appear in several fan-requested reunion events. Something had broken. And now, we know what. The press event was supposed to be simple. Wang was scheduled to promote his upcoming drama at a fan meet in Beijing. No one expected what unfolded that afternoon. Standing before a packed crowd, Dylan was visibly nervous. His usual confidence was replaced by hesitation. His voice cracked before he even began his statement. "I didn't prepare a script for this," he began, his voice hoarse. "I don't think this is something you plan. I've carried this for a long time. I think it's time I stop being a coward." The audience, initially confused, fell into a tense silence. "She trusted me," Dylan continued, the emotion in his voice unmistakable. "I ruined that. I hurt someone I deeply cared about. I was stupid, reckless, and selfish." He never said Shen Yu's name directly. He didn't have to. Everyone knew who he meant. Then came the part that shattered fans. "There were things I said to her in private. Promises. And I broke every single one of them. I watched her walk away, not because she wanted to, but because I gave her no other choice. And for the last 2 years, I've lived with that pain every day." Cameras caught the moment he paused, wiping away tears that had started to spill down his face. The room, usually filled with screaming fans, was dead quiet. "I know this doesn't fix anything. I don't expect her to forgive me. But I want her to hear it from my mouth, with my whole heart. I am sorry, Shen Yu. I am so sorry." The internet exploded within minutes. #Dylan apologizes to Shen Yu and #forgive him Shen Yu began trending on Weibo, Twitter, and TikTok. Fans around the world flooded timelines with emotional messages, some praising Dylan for his vulnerability, others heartbroken over the reality of what he'd confessed. "You could feel the regret in his voice," one fan tweeted. "This wasn't a PR stunt. This was a man begging for a second chance." But not everyone was quick to offer sympathy. "Too little, too late," wrote another. "He should have protected her heart when he had the chance." Influencers, celebrities, and even international media picked up the story. Entertainment Tonight Asia released a feature breaking down the timeline of their rumored relationship, while fans began pulling old clips where Dylan hinted, often in subtle, romantic tones, about someone he once loved and let go too soon. One old interview resurfaced, where Dylan, when asked if he's ever regretted a relationship, smiled sadly and said, Yeah, but I think I lost her for good. Now fans understand who her was. Shen Yu's camp has remained completely silent since the apology. No statements. No responses. No social media activity. Her last Instagram post, made weeks before the event, showed her reading a book titled The Art of Moving On. But sources close to the actress suggest she was deeply moved by Dylan's gesture. According to an anonymous stylist who worked with her on a recent shoot, Shen Yu was shown a clip of the apology and watched it in silence, eyes brimming with tears. She reportedly didn't say much, just held her phone close and whispered, "I wasn't expecting that." Whether or not she plans to respond publicly remains unknown. What's certain is this: Dylan Wang's heartfelt confession has shifted the narrative entirely. An insider from a variety show that had once tried to reunite the pair said, "We were told never to bring her name up around him. He would shut down." This is the first time he's opened that door. Maybe it means something. Industry veterans applauded the moment for its rarity. "This isn't something actors do," said former K-actor Kim Dae-sung in a podcast. "We're trained to hide everything." For him to stand there, vulnerable, broken, and admit fault. That takes more courage than most people realize. Even critics, those who accused Dylan of being arrogant, too ambitious, or emotionally closed off, admitted the apology was powerful. "He put his heart on the floor," wrote one columnist for China Daily. Whether it's accepted or not, that kind of vulnerability deserves respect. The question now lingers: what comes next? Will Shen Yu reach out? Will they ever work together again? Could this be the beginning of a new chapter or simply the closing of a long, emotional one? Fans wait with bated breath. Some believe she may forgive him privately, without the world ever knowing. Others hope for a grand moment of reconciliation, an accidental run-in at a film premiere, or perhaps a quiet reunion hinted through an ambiguous post. One fan wrote, "Whether or not they ever become a couple again doesn't matter. What matters is that he finally saw her pain, and he didn't look away." As of now, Dylan Wang has taken a brief break from public appearances. His agency confirmed he cancelled a brand launch event to reflect and recover. Shen Yu, meanwhile, has resumed filming her latest drama but has remained guarded and professional. Maybe this is just a moment. Maybe it will lead to something greater. Or maybe it's just a chapter in the story of two young stars who once fell in love in silence and grew apart in the noise. But in a world where so many feelings are faked, filtered, and forced, this moment between Dylan and Shen Yu felt painfully, beautifully real. And perhaps, for the millions watching, that was enough.